Ariana having Cooper ask her father's permission to marry her isn't just a sweet, old-fashioned gesture in Landman. It's a deliberate test, and the show makes that very clear if you pay attention to Ariana's behavior leading up to that moment. On the surface, it looks like tradition, respect, and family values. Underneath, though, it's about trust, power, and whether Cooper truly understands what marrying Ariana actually means. Ariana has always been cautious with Cooper, even when she clearly loves him. She's seen what happens to men who rush into big commitments without understanding the weight that comes with them. Her family, especially her father, represents authority, legacy, and expectation. By asking Cooper to seek her father's permission, Ariana isn't just following custom, she's forcing Cooper to confront the reality of her world before she says yes. This is important because Cooper has spent most of his life answering only to himself. He owned his land, made his own decisions, and lived with the consequences directly. Asking another man for permission, especially a man like Ariana's father, is a challenge to that independence. Ariana knows this. She knows it will make Cooper uncomfortable, maybe even defensive. That discomfort is the point. She needs to see how he reacts when he's not in control. Ariana's father isn't just a symbolic figure either. He represents stability, scrutiny, and judgment. He's the kind of man who measures worth through responsibility, consistency, and long-term thinking. Ariana knows that if Cooper can sit across from her father, speak honestly, and still stand his ground without arrogance, then he's capable of handling the pressures that come with being her husband. If he can't, then marriage would only magnify those cracks later. There's also an emotional layer here that often gets overlooked. Ariana has likely spent her whole life balancing her own desires with her father's expectations. By asking Cooper to seek permission, she's testing whether he's willing to meet her halfway in that struggle. Marriage, to her, isn't just about love. It's about partnership in navigating family dynamics that won't simply disappear after the wedding. What makes this a test, rather than a requirement, is Ariana's attitude throughout the process. She doesn't hover, coach Cooper, or reassure him excessively. She lets him walk into that conversation on his own terms. That tells us she's not just checking a box. She wants to see his instincts. Does he try to charm? Does he become defensive? Does he fold under pressure, or does he show humility without losing his sense of self? From Cooper's side, this moment forces growth. Up until now, he's been reacting to circumstances, losing land, taking a job, adapting to changes forced on him by people like Tommy. Asking for Ariana's father's permission is different. It's a voluntary act of vulnerability. He's choosing to put himself in a position where he can be judged and possibly rejected, all for the sake of someone else. That choice matters. Ariana also understands that her father's approval isn't guaranteed, and that's another reason this test is so revealing. If her father pushes back or expresses doubts, Cooper's response will tell her everything she needs to know. Will he blame her? Will he resent her family? Or will he accept that marrying into someone's life means accepting their people too, even when it's uncomfortable? The show subtly suggests that Ariana has already seen relationships fail because men underestimated this exact dynamic. Some might have loved her, but not her world. By putting this test in front of Cooper now, she's preventing a future where resentment quietly poisons their marriage. She'd rather face tension up front than regret later. There's also a power shift happening here. Throughout much of their relationship, Cooper has been the one adjusting, financially, professionally, emotionally. This moment gives Ariana agency. She sets the terms, not out of manipulation, but out of self-protection. She's saying, if you want this future, you need to prove you can handle all of it, not just me. Interestingly, Ariana's test isn't about whether her father says yes. It's about how Cooper behaves during the process. Even if her father has reservations, Cooper showing patience, respect, and sincerity could still pass the test in Ariana's eyes. That distinction matters, because it shows Ariana isn't blindly loyal to her father's authority. She's loyal to the idea of a marriage built on understanding and mutual respect. In a broader sense, this storyline fits perfectly into Landman's themes. The show constantly explores how power operates quietly through traditions, expectations, and unspoken rules. Ariana asking Cooper to seek permission is one of those quiet power moves. It looks simple, even romantic, but it forces a confrontation with hierarchy, pride, and maturity. By the end of this arc, it's clear that Ariana isn't testing Cooper to see if he's good enough. She's testing whether he's ready. Ready to compromise without losing himself, ready to face authority without bitterness, and ready to enter a marriage that exists within a larger family structure, not outside of it. In Landman, love alone is never enough, and Ariana knows that better than most. So when Ariana asks Cooper to seek her father's permission, it's not about tradition for tradition's sake. It's about clarity. She's making sure that before they take the next step, both of them understand exactly what they're stepping into. And for Ariana, that honesty, no matter how uncomfortable, is the real foundation of commitment.